Hello, everyone. Welcome. How are y'all doing today? Anybody get their homework done? I'll admit I did not. I need one more day. Yeah, that's good. Good. I'm gonna put the link. Sorry, I'm a little late. We were all over at Chuck's. If y'all haven't checked Chuck out, you might want to check that out. Pappy Two Bears, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, Jen, Seasider, Hardluck Survival, End of the World, Blackwatch, Dorinda, Canadian Patriot. I think I got all of y'all. Cindy, sorry, there you are. Rob. Just trying to get over what I just saw. Need some positive vibes. Oh, there we go. There's Miss Positivity.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. I hope so. Could be.
Hi,
What'd you
Deanna.
see, Bonnie? Hi, honey. What did you see?
You weren't at Chuck's?
No. Oh, yeah, I was at Chuck's. Yep, I
Yeah.
did see that. Those weapons. At first, I joked. I said, "Where do I get one?" That
Yeah, I
was
saw that and I
a
was like,
tasteless joke
using.
for a second there, and then I was like, "Oh shit, I don't want one of these."
Well, if that's the counter, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Hi, Brenda, honey. Hi, Dorinda, Patrick, Jen, Love. All you good people of the world. And Black Watch too. Hi, Kay.
I don't know if Chuck put the defense for that. I think he did, but I don't know if he put a link and I didn't get it.
What would the deep? We have our own interception.
I don't know.
Yeah.
See, and then that goes to what I heard. Um, when T was building the wall, the reason
Hmm.
it looks so different is because there was something in it to counteract something.
Hmm.
Well, I kind of thought it was a EMP, but that that could be why there was such a hurry to not finish it. I don't know.
I
I don't
just,
know.
yeah, I just recently read something about it being a tuning fork and like the keys. Oh, they were talking about it on Tin's stream last Friday too, about like how they call keys portals, or keys to portals kind of connections. Like, music, classical music is a good, it's
Yeah,
good to listen to. They say it increases intelligence, right? And so,
it's
but
that
there's also,
megahertz thing, right? The
what's that?
432. Is it the megahertz?
I don't know anything about that stuff. The
It's
Rob.
supposed to be healing energy, the
Hmm.
vibrations, the
Yeah.
tone. Yeah,
Is that right? I really didn't hear anything about that until last week, and it was more, like I said, it was on a chat show, so it's not like a, a credible source that I read. They were just talking about it like that. So I
Yeah.
don't doubt they read something on it, but I didn't. I haven't. So I thank you, Black Watch. It's one of my favorites. I like
It's,
people that they compliment me in town. I'm like, okay, yep, yep. Some people go out of their way to come back and tell me, hey, I like that hat. Because it takes them a minute to think about it, what it is. At first, I thought it was like X22 or something when my husband brought it to me. I'm like, what is that? But I know it. State of Jefferson people know it. But I think that movement's just about as dead. I saw a Facebook post from it the other day. They were talking about the redistricting. It's too bad they didn't just people didn't just stick with that one movement. You know what I mean? In California, because that's what it needs. California is just way, way too spread out. They're never going to get it together here, and we really should be two different states at least. Look how big it is.
see, that's the problem that I'm having with Texas is it's like we're all so scattered apart. That's what I was telling Kay. Hey, we need to hook up, and she said that'd be great. I have no idea where she's at, but it's they're just scattered.
Yeah, that's a big state too.
Oh,
Texas
there's
is huge. Yeah.
Carl. Oh, and
Hi,
he's got a
Campbell.
fire going for
Oh,
us.
there's our fire.
Howdy, y'all.
So it's getting cold.
Bonnie and Dee. Mark Atwood's
Mhm.
channel. He
Yeah.
does a lot of talking about the tuning fork and the frequencies and the
Who is he?
vibrations and all that stuff.
Is he a real weirdo?
No, he's from
No, I only like
Ireland.
real weirdo.
No,
Okay.
he's from Ireland. He's a really kind of laid back, cool guy. He has a lot of
What's his name? Then?
interesting shit. Oh, sorry, stuff on his
Dorinda, you're
channel.
really crackling bad. We're getting about every
I
other
am?
word. Yes.
Okay.
What's
I'll
his
back
name?
up. Okay, the person's name is Mark Atwood,
Thank you.
and he talks a lot about frequency and the tuning fork thingy, and all kinds of other stuff. He's a really good truther.
Okay, cool.
Better, Bonnie?
Tuning fork. No.
No?
The
Okay,
tuning
I'll back
fork.
up and come back.
Okay. It's pretty crackly. Nice fire. Keeping the mosquitoes away?
I don't see any mosquitoes yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's still light out there, right?
Well, they haven't really got out in force yet. I haven't seen a single one, D. I don't know what's going on.
How about the lightning bugs?
Not yet.
What? July,
You know,
right?
this is
They're there
Michigan.
by July.
This is Michigan. Things are a little slower here.
Yeah. They're there by July because when I'm there for the 4th of July, they're usually there.
I guess maybe I'm just getting lucky. I don't miss mosquitoes at all.
No.
We have plenty here. We have plenty for everybody.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I've been in the woods a couple times today, and I didn't see any mosquitoes. Been down by the swamps, too.
That's weird, huh?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Wow.
That mower next door loud?
No, I don't hear it. I hear birds
I hear whittling. Are you
Quit.
whittling?
or clipping
No.
or something.
That's the fire popping.
Is it? Is that crackly?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good sound.
Well,
Like
it's not the greatest wood. It's just a bunch of stuff I picked up today.
yeah, and you got some greenery in there. That never smells good.
Oh, it depends on what it is.
Well, that's true. It could smell really good. I like that skunky smell particularly. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
me too. Me too. I was thinking, you know, how they had those little pine tree car fresheners you hang on your mirror.
Yeah.
I was thinking about making some like pot leaves that smell like skunk. I think they'd actually sell.
They probably already do. Hi, Anna. Hi,
Last
Wildlife.
night during the show, I think one
Yeah.
walked by my window because I was sitting here gagging, and I was like,
Oh, yeah. That's a little too strong.
yes.
That smell tells you don't want nothing to do with this at all. Not like the other one where it's like, that smells good. Not to everyone though. I get it. It's not everyone's. You're about to fire your skunk up. Fire it up. Puff puff pass, people. It's that time of day. It's after 5 everywhere now, ain't it? It has to be.
Oh, okay.
What? Garlic along your walkway. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, they don't like onions either. Our last house in Eureka was owned by a family of Laotians, and they had planted what was that? It was like green onions all around the whole perimeter of the house. I
Well, I
don't know if
got a lot
that
of
probably
those here.
works. Huh?
Says I got a lot of those here. Maybe that's helping.
I didn't like it so much around my house, but looking back, I didn't have any problems with rodents or ants or anything in that house. I lived there for 4 years. It's probably those onions, you know.
We get leeks out in the woods that grow around here all over the place. Free onions all over the woods.
That's great.
Yeah. Wild onions.
That's great.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna say
Yeah, when
hello
I'm
to everybody in chat. I gotta see if I
okay.
can keep on the fire and still look at the chat. All right, Canadian Patriot, Anna Marie, Wildlife, Patrick, Kelly, End of the World, Blackwatch, Rob, K, ER. All right, now I got to get back out of here. Did I lose the picture on the fire?
No.
Nope.
I did all that with.
Good.
I can. Wow, cool. So I
Hello,
can't read the
everyone.
chat.
Yeah, that works too. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I've been hearing a whippoorwill out my bedroom window. Love the sound of them.
Are you so lonesome you could cry?
No.
Hey, Shane. Hey,
Hello,
Dorinda. How
Shane.
was work today?
Actually, I didn't go
No, why? Thought you had to work today.
because as I'm getting ready to go put my clothes on to go to work, I started throwing up. So I said, "Fuck this
Ew.
shit! I'm staying home."
You're like,
Oh no.
no, I think I'll stay home.
Yeah,
Nobody wants
that's
you
not
when
really
you're.
no.
Huh?
There's that and diarrhea. You really don't want to go to work when you have
Oh man,
diarrhea or
stay
you're
away.
throwing up.
We don't even want to know about
Oh
it.
goodness, Brenda.
Okay, but I did ask,
Okay,
so
Black.
that's what I get.
Hey Jen, hey Shane. No, I'm not going to camp out tonight, Anna.
Just teasing you. Yeah, we're not
Soon.
cleaning
Your
up
permission.
after you
Canadian Patriot.
tonight. Oh, my son did that to my cousins when we were staying at their house in Chicago one year. We were at whose wedding? It was my sister's wedding. And the next night, and during the night, my son had gotten up and threw up all over the bathroom. And her husband got up and helped him, like, clean up and shower. And I was like, and my son was like 21, I think.
Oh
They don't know
goodness.
how to handle their liquor at that age at all.
Hmm.
Embarrassing.
Are you feeling better now, Dorinda?
Yeah, it was only for like an hour, and then my stomach kind of felt queasy for a couple hours, but after that, it was fine.
Look at your
Mm.
It was
nails
really
all
weird.
did up like gels. You got gel nails right now?
No, they're little glue-ons,
Oh, really?
Marie.
Well, they
and
look like
actually, not glue, so they're gonna pop off anytime.
those things drive me crazy. But I used to like to hear my grandma's nails when she played the piano in between the keys. You could always hear that
Yes.
click, click. She had her own nails. They were real, but she played way more gracefully. And yeah, yep, yep, yep. We lost my auntie that was sick. I told you guys she died. I guess I found out yesterday she passed away. So we lost. My husband lost an uncle, and I lost an auntie. So it's. I think it's coming around. I mean, they were both. I mean, his uncle had like half his lung removed, and he was still smoking cigarettes. So but I know they both did the thing. You know, and I just don't think that
Oh,
helped the situation for either one of them. But I don't know. You know,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry for your
Girl,
loss.
go there.
Oh
Katie.
well, I understand. Thank you. Everyone's having losses. It's finally hit us. We really haven't. I knew the city council lady died. You know what I mean? But like as far as knowing anybody, and you can't direct link it, right? You can't direct link it. But I will always, forever in my mind, think that they were related. Because it was
Yep.
during that time. And
I'm sending
so
hugs, Dave.
yeah, yeah. Ex-boyfriend's daughter's hair away from her drunken Barbie. Oh,
You're
that's a
holding a good job.
that's such a good mama. It's probably not what you wanted to be doing to that boyfriend in that moment. That's grace. See, you only really can be graceful in those moments. That's how people learn and see, and they experience grace. They'll never forget it. Good job.
That's true.
That's beautiful. I mean, it's an ugly situation and scene, but he'll never forget it. Well, of course, he probably never remember it, but the gesture will never be forgotten. Maybe. So you reminded him the next morning. Do you remember? Oh, you was kissing the porcelain god. If you
Uh,
got, yeah, it's a drag. And really, I'm even a little. I'm sad she's gone. I'm really, really sad she's gone because she was my German auntie. She married my uncle, my mom's brother, and she was always just so a lot like my grandma to me. And like when my grandma died, she was that one that you remember. When that person you love dies and you hug that one person at the funeral and you just can't. You just like both lose it and cry and cry and
yes.
cry. She probably did it with everybody, though. You know what I mean? She was like that. She wasn't even 5 feet. Oh, Diana, with her thick German accent and just, oh, dang, man. And what I'm mad about is that they're not even going to have a memorial for her. And this family, I have 22
Oh,
cousins, and I have most of us we grew up in Chicago, except for the ones whose mom just died, Renate. She had 3 kids, and they all grew up overseas. Okay, well now in the last, I mean, I moved here in 1990, and my cousin Jen moved here shortly after, and her sister. So 3 of us ended up in Humboldt County. That's some odds, right? And they're
yeah.
just not very close to me, or I see them sometimes. They don't keep up with me, and we would get together for Christmases for a long time, but they're like, yeah, she didn't know anybody here. Because I'm like, really? They're not going to have a memorial for her? How shitty. That's
Mm,
just, that so pissed about that. These people, and they're just not family orientated. Like my family in the Midwest, they're tight. Yeah, I might be this far, but when my cousin died, I flew back home for the funeral. That was the only cousin we lost out of
yeah.
22. We lost. He was 26. He died at his keyboard. And you know what? Now looking back, they said his heart was enlarged like twice the size, and he was a deputy sheriff. And now looking back, I'm like, man, I wonder if he got any of these that
Wow.
week, because it took him months to get the autopsy for my auntie. So I
Mm,
don't get that they don't want to like connect with our family here when our kids were littler. That's it. Our kids have grown up, and the sucky thing is one of their kids is in Germany, so they're not going to tell her till she gets back. She's going to be there for a week, and that's the right thing to do. What can she do?
yeah.
I still just cannot believe I don't know. I can't remember the last time somebody didn't get a memorial. It pisses me off.
Well, and sometimes, like last year, uh, my first cousin, he lost two granddaughters to a car accident.
Shit.
They were where they shouldn't have been. And so she's like shelled up. Like she doesn't talk much to us anymore. I think a lot of people are just going through a lot of crap right now, and just um, but that's why we need to get that family unit back together for everyone's sakes. We got to think of the little ones especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because of the way we believe, or the way we talk, or the things we wear, or whatever.
You
We're the
guys see
bad
Nancy
people.
Drew today, Bonnie?
I was watching it.
Yeah.
It's I think I was watching number 4 because I had seen
Today.
something mentioned at Robert's Z-Man,
Okay. Yeah.
and um, the title was kind of deceiving. I just saw one child come out, and may have been a daughter to somebody.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. It
Oh, the ambulance? Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that it would have been a lot different had it have been something else. What do you think?
I don't know.
You
Not
can
really.
tell
I
me.
watched, I watched that
I mean,
video
that's
too, but I missed the kid.
I honestly do not know what to I have no thoughts on it. I have no freaking idea.
hmm
I mean, I'm not always trying to fill in the blanks for myself because I know I have no idea.
yeah,
I have no clue whatsoever. I saw the tunnel though, and I thought it was interesting that she linked that with the other video with somebody on the White House roof and all that activity. That was the other video just before I got on your show. Uploaded another video of walking to the White House, and she said there was a lot of busy activity in the sky, and there was a guy on the roof, and she zoomed in on him. And so that was just like 28 minutes ago before I got on here. Hey, Shane.
did you see that?
Saya.
I was
So,
going to get in trouble because I didn't see him down there. And
Yeah, I just go back to that old song. I've been waiting
oh,
for a girl
Lord,
like
the
Rob,
foreigner. It's breaking out the foreigner.
you. Yeah,
I am so
okay.
not
Super
mad at
cheese.
you.
That's the
Please
super
do not
cheese.
worry about that. You're
Yeah,
you're
I
good.
watched that video with Bonnie. We was on earlier,
Oh, was ya?
and we talked about it a little bit. And
Oh,
here's
did
the
ya?
thing: Nancy Drew was making it out to sound like there's children coming out of the Capitol. But think about it: it was one, and it was in a wheelchair. And the people up there that work there, they do take their children to the Capitol with them at times. And sometimes, maybe they had a seizure, maybe they had some allergic reaction to some food or something. So,
Mhm.
people's
Yeah.
got to really think when they see crap like that instead of just stirring up a lot of shit.
I didn't hear her say nothing like that. But I fast forwarded it back and forth, so I must have missed that. I didn't hear her get at first. Yeah, she was being a little joking about it, thinking it was Pelosi, and
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
crass. She was very crass that way. I'm
Yeah,
sure when
but
she watches that.
when she put it out like there's children coming out of the
I think she
Capitol
changed
building.
it because when I read the title, it just said a 19-year-old.
Well, I don't know
Um,
how. This child did not look 19, but it may have been.
No,
It may have been just a small, 19-year-old. But
yeah.
yeah, the way it come out like it was, a child trafficking scene or something. And but that's not what it was. And I mean, there's a lot of reasonings why that could have happened. So I don't know what happened, but
let
I'm
me
not.
Was
see.
it
I
at the?
still have that.
I'm sorry, Liana, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bonnie.
I still have it up. It says up close at Capitol Ambulance. Oh, kid coming out. It didn't say kids. And Pelosi jokes.
Uh-huh.
Well, and here's the thing: if it would have been something that was very miscuous, I should say, that ambulance had plenty of room to back all the way down to them pillars where that child was wheeled out, but it wasn't. And
Where you
and they,
wouldn't have seen a thing.
yeah, where you wouldn't have
Right.
seen me.
I
Yeah,
think
or they'd have parked under the stairwell because they can drive right under the damn stairwell. So
was
I
that
think
at the Supreme Court, Shane, or was that at
no, that
Congress?
was at no, it was at the excuse me, it was at the House of Congress. It was at
So they could have been testifying too.
there could have been anything. We won't know. We'll never know,
Right.
and that's the
All
problem.
right. You want to know something I saw probably 6, 8 months ago?
What?
Go
And
for it.
it was about Nancy Drew. And she put out a video and it showed a motorcade leaving the Capitol. And in the background, you could hear loudspeakers announcing Trump and JFK Jr., right? Which
Yes.
got a lot of
Said
hits and
Kennedy.
got a lot of attention, right? And then,
What they said
like a day or
Kennedy.
two later, I see another guy that's got the same location. He filmed the same thing, but you heard none of the loudspeakers in the background.
Yeah, and it said something about traffic and the lights.
And Kennedy, I thought they said Kennedy, not JFK Jr.
Well,
I
it
No,
don't
may have been, but what I'm saying is another guy filmed the same event without the same audio in the background. So somebody was fibbing, all right?
yeah, it's a
well,
big mess. We're all being misled, guys.
I
Come
can't
on.
see chat right now if I'm
She
missing
was
somebody.
questioned on her way to her car.
Kind of feel blind when I can't see the chat.
They let her go, but
I
why
trust
were they
her more than
keeping her
all the
brain?
others. I trust her more than anybody that's on the ground there. More than
You know,
Penguin X, more than Mustang.
Well, and that's the
oh,
thing. What she's
yeah.
doing is just videoing, and you just look. Most of the time,
Thank you.
no, not most of the time. Some of the time, I mute her because she can get pretty loud, or
Well,
yeah.
and she just rambles on.
And so
Now,
I
Shane.
just, I just look at what's going on where she's
During.
and I have some screenshots of some pretty odd looking stuff that uh, she took. That it's like she even talked about piecing it all together and making one big video of everything she's seen since she started doing that, and
If
that
there's
would be
something
pretty
going
cool.
on, she's probably restricted from doing anything, just like Monkey Works and everybody else that was tuned in. I think they
Yes,
all got told to watch themselves.
yes,
Well,
and
Nancy Drew's been arrested before uh, and
yeah,
detained due
Right,
to
exactly.
her videoing.
Thank
Like I
you.
said, I just,
Yeah.
yes, she has, and she
Those are our people. Okay, those are our people.
right.
Aren't
you
they?
know,
They
well, we got
are.
to
I
just,
might get arrested one day. Y'all need to bail me out, okay?
well, and that would happen because we know you. But here's the thing: is we don't know these people.
Thank you, Shane.
We watch them and we
Right.
listen to them, and it's one of those deals that until you meet him in person, which we have met Mustang in person, and he's
Yeah.
a little different.
Yes.
Take care.
And
Hi, Ken.
Penguin Six is, I think he shows what he's told to show. Um, Nancy is. I used to love everything she did, but I got to watching some of how she did it, and it makes me wonder. So I do have questions about her. I'm not saying I dislike her. I have a
Mhm.
lot of questions about how she
Sure.
presents her information.
Rocksteady.
Sure.
And,
Hey,
and
Rock,
Roger.
D, D, I'm very thorough.
Yes, you are.
So you know that.
I
And
do.
so, yes, I do have questions.
Okay, Carl, can't see the chat. Rocksteady said Wolverines.
Wolverine!
Yep. Wolverine!
Another log on that fire, Camo.
I'm not wanting to go all night.
You're done. Okay, gotcha.
It's just,
I'm
it's yard refuge.
And y'all mind if I put it full screen?
Mine
I don't mind if you put it full screen, but it is.
Yeah,
It's gonna,
do that.
it's
I'll
gonna
do that.
kick up here in a minute. It's
Oh,
just
good.
getting
Okay.
going over on one side.
Good. Good.
Maybe here, I could probably give you a better view if I move a little.
There,
Yeah, it
we're
looks like you're just
sitting
cleaning up your yard.
What'd you say?
I said it looks like you're just cleaning up your yard and you just throw it in the pit and just burn the shit off.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Damn, I'm good.
Cleaned out some of the woods too. A little trail that goes off into there.
Yeah, I was looking down that trail earlier when it was light out up there on your camera, and I could see a little bit down the Inwood Pass, and it looked like it'd been cleaned up.
Yeah, a little bit at a time. This guy here, he has his back broke, and he had several surgeries, and he wasn't able to do anything for a couple of years. And nobody gave him a hand, and the place was. I think it's more like 3 years. It was just everything was left. I'm almost caught up.
back on it. That's
Yeah.
really good of you,
Awesome.
Kim.
Hello, Rocksteady.
I can't get my boys to come do that.
Oh, he helped me too. You know, he lets me stay here. You know, and that's the deal. Is I take care of the property and the house, and I get to stay here. That's the
Yeah.
deal.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, another part
Well,
of
it
our.
ain't forever. It ain't forever, but for right now, it's working pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. Well, if you get run off from there, you just come on down here to my place.
you got lots of property work on, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't have really any property work that needs to be done. My nephew takes care of the yard, and I don't have anything really. But I've got some nice little places.
Boy, I'm gonna whenever I move. I think some trees are even gonna have to be moved,
Hey, Rocksteady.
taken out.
I got cats walking all over around me right now. This is everywhere I go, man. Stray cats find me everywhere I go.
Well, that's better than what I got. I got cougars.
I always wanted a cougar. I mean, seriously. Since I was a little boy, I always wanted a mountain lion. No,
Hey, Phelps.
What?
Oh,
Dorinda
he's
got
quick.
that one.
He's quick.
What is that?
Me,
What?
D. It was
What
D,
was that?
not Dorinda. Did you get it,
Oh, okay.
Dorinda?
Yeah.
She wasn't
Garrett.
the one laughing, though. It was me, Shane.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was
It's
drinking at
okay.
the same time.
Yes, I know. I'm just giving him shit because he.
I didn't want to spoot beer everywhere on camera.
Right.
All right, y'all.
Not on your own lap. Yeah, not on your own computer. What was that show? It was A Knight's Tale. He's quick. He's witty.
My uncle had that saying that when he came here, he would say it all the time. You gotta be quick. He would just say it so timely, and ever since, every once in a while, it works. Just give someone that line when they need it. It's pretty funny. You
Well, that's
gotta be
me.
quick.
I always wanted a pet cougar. Now I've got one.
Oh my gosh, you did not say fat cougar, did you? Did you say fat cougar?
No, I said a pet cougar.
Oh, pet
Shane,
cougar.
Shane, when I was six, I got a cat or a kitten, and I named him Cougar. And he lived for 19 years. He was 24-pound tabby.
Son. Well, I think
Yeah,
this one's about 109 to 110, somewhere in there. This one's a little bigger.
I seriously always wanted a cougar. I mean, for real, a mountain lion. I've gotten close to some out in the mountains, but you'd have to catch their kitten. It wouldn't be.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would be. It would be a something.
We used to have minks and black panthers that hung around our farm. And boy, I'll tell you what, in the middle of the night, they go to screaming. It sounds like a baby screaming for the life. It's an eerie sound. But yeah, we had them hanging around all the damn time. So yeah, we had a lot of, well, hell, I had a pet fox that come up. One of our female dogs, our blue heelers, was in heat, and he decided he was wanting to have some of that, and he bailed off in the back of a 4-wheel drive pickup that sits up pretty tall. It was a 72, and they set up tall on them tall tires. He jumped plumb over the side to get to her, and I was the only one out of the whole 4 of us that could even get close to this fox, and it followed me around like it was my best friend. And then just one day he disappeared. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but yeah, no, I thought that was pretty neat. A little red fox.
Wow.
I hand fed 4 puppies from a fox. I lured them out of their den while their mother circled me. It took 4 hours to get those suckers to take a Dorito from me.
It's funny you just said Doritos. My adopted daughter just said, I'm going to go get Doritos to have a dinner tonight. She just said that and walked out the damn door right as you was saying that.
I didn't even plan it. I just sat down. I was going to eat something. I was out in the middle of a nature preserve, and I cracked that bag of chips, and I seen little heads pop out of the hole. They smelled it almost immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, all right. And the mom got really nervous, and they were never really at ease either. They took the Dorito and ran the first one, and actually they all got one Dorito, but they wouldn't come back for another one. It was like,
smelled better than it tasted, I
guess. It was worth every moment of those hours to me, because that's a good memory.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, guys, I'm going to bounce and go have some dinner and let someone else come up here. Someone else get on here and join the campfire. It's a good time. I love y'all. I'll see you later.
See you later. You have a good night.
Bye, Bonnie. Bye, Dorinda. Bye, Camo. Bye, Shane. Bye, chat. Love y'all. Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Sorry, granddaughter just got back from shopping and telling me everything she could and couldn't find.
Oh.
She's had a long day.
Tatum?
Yep.
I was kind of buy groceries too.
Oh, excuse me a minute. Y'all keep talking.
Yeah, like I said, Camo, I've got all kinds of critters I fit around here. I got in between skunks and raccoons and deer. They all seem to like to want to come in my house too, and that's a little hairy when skunks come in your house.
Some of those suckers have no fear of nothing either. They look at you like, I know you're going to move.
Oh yeah, they know what they're they're capable of, and it's like, I can't. Nope. And there was nothing I could do. They come in. I had the back door open, and my kitchen door was open, so I went out and opened the screen door, and kind of put a little trail of food through there so they'd follow that food trail. They got out on that back porch, my screened-in porch, and went out that side door, and I closed the back door. They weren't coming back in.
If you walk along with them and you don't spook them and you just keep walking along with a skunk, keep talking to them like you're just no threat at all, they'll start to accept you, and it's just a matter of spending some time with them. The goofiest, they are goofy, man. But the goofiest one I seen was a pure albino skunk in the middle of the summer woods. And this goofy thing thought that if he hit his, if he couldn't see you, you couldn't see him. So he was sticking his head behind things to hide while his big white fluffy tail and body stood out like a sore thumb.
He was one of them intelligent ones. He has been interbred.
he thought he was safe as long as he didn't look. It was like pulling the covers over his head.
That was the Rain Man of skunks.
Well, my dog's the same way. If he hides his head, he figures you can't see him. He's 110, 120 pounds. Of course you can see him.
It's kind of hard for him to hide.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, I got a den of coons that moved into my big cottonwood. It has a big hollow branch that's been cut off or broke off for ever since I've owned this place. And it's hollowed out. And they live down in there. And I'm going to tell you, them things are, and we used to raise coons. So I'm not
I got pictures of the coons we had when I was a kid and stuff. And then if you feed them, my mom fed them for 30 something years. We had these feeders up in the trees to where you could throw the feed out the second story windows, and they'd come in droves, man, in families. There'd be a dozen coons come in and leave, and the next dozen will come in.
Oh yeah, yeah. We raised quite a few coons, and these coons, I feed them. At half the time, they want me to hand feed them, and I'm just like, no, I don't need no more critters. You can eat what's in
Coon hunting used to be a big deal up here, and it's like barely anybody does it anymore.
Oh, I know. It's like chipmunks and squirrels. You can still go to the Grand Canyon and hand feed squirrels all day long.
I have never been to the Grand Canyon yet. I've been to like 37 states, but none of the ones out west off the West Coast I've been to Oklahoma. I went through there to get to Amarillo a bunch of times, but been to New Mexico, but I haven't been to. Was that Shane?
Amarillo's 2 hours south of me.
Oh, you're not far at all.
No, I'm in the Oklahoma Panhandle.
Oh, right on. I've driven close through there.
You probably went right through town. Shit, who knows?
In fact, in 1969, going over the border from Oklahoma into the Panhandle of Texas, in a brand new Le Mans, a red Le Mans, we hit a dust storm, and by the time we got to my grandpa's in Amarillo, that car was sandblasted completely. One half of that car was sandblasted to the bare metal, and it was already starting to rust.
You went right down 83 is what you did, which is 20 miles from me. Went right by my brother's house. You went right down 23 through Perryton, Texas, then Pampa, and then Amarillo.
Yeah, and hit a real storm. They call it a dust storm. That sucker was a sandstorm, Shane.
Oh, I know. I live them.
Brand new car, right to the metal.
We had 80-mile-an-hour winds last night, and it was like, you hear about these gale force winds on the coast. They're going 60 mile an hour. I'm thinking that's an Oklahoma breeze. Come on, we get them every day, damn near. Yeah,
I remember that area was full of these little roadside. I mean, I'm talking back in the early 70s and stuff, probably, but little like Indian souvenir stands where you could buy silver and turquoise and cowboy and Indian stuff and Indian crafts and baskets, all kinds of that stuff. I remember the area being full of it.
Most of it has moved now into convenience stores. and they sell it to the convenience stores and let the convenience stores take care of it. And they sell it to them at a discount, granted. But yeah, a lot of that's moved into convenience stores. We got convenience stores all over, just plumb packed with this stuff. And like I say, I'm Choctaw, so I know a lot of the heritage, and I study it. But yeah, we have that crap everywhere. I mean, it's just damn near in every store.
And anywhere there was like cliffs or rock sides, I would have begged to stop there as a kid. So I probably have been there. If you could see it from the highway and it was a rock face, I wanted to climb it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you ought to come down here. I'll take you airhead hunting with me. It'd be a lot of fun. And like I said, I've got lots of arrowheads, spear points, scrapers, knives, all from about 12,000 years ago.
I've found a few tips, over the years. I can't find my favorite one. I don't know where it is. I think I lost it in a move, probably. But you could see the twist in the blade of the arrowhead. Like whoever made this had made so many that he'd perfected a way to put a twist in the opposite opposing blades. As he did the chert, as he chipped the chert off.
It's called napping, yes.
He must have been a master. I really hope I find that somewhere.
Yeah, you need to find that because that would be something I'd be interested to see. I would be interested to see that one. Yeah, I know a lot of people that do modern day napping. And I don't mean taking a nap, but it's called napping.
I knew you meant.
Yeah, and they do a nice job, but you can tell it's not authentic because they don't know the basics of napping. Well, they do, but it's not. You can just tell. They always do the larger ones, which is a spear point. Everybody thinks those ones that's 2 inches long is an arrowhead. That is not an arrowhead. That is a spear point. Arrowhead is a bird point, which is usually only about a half-inch long and a 3/8 to a half-inch wide. They're tiny because they had to attach them to the end of a stick. Now you take one of these ones that's 2 inches long, you attach it to the end of a stick and shoot it at a bow. It's going to look like an arch and go right into the ground. But you take
they got a lot. It may have got smaller as they got more adapt to it. If you notice, that Clovis stuff is huge, but as it gets,
God, yes, and
more refined down the line, it gets smaller and smaller.
Go back to the paleo. Paleo was the first original Indian in anywhere, and they date back 24,000 years. And
crystal clear. Did you see the crystal clear spear tip they found? I don't know, about 3-4 years ago. It was probably an 8-inch long spear point, and it was completely transparent like a crystal.
Well, I can tell you two things. One of it, that was a ceremonial one, and two is they do. You know how they do that with that flint? It's put in a fire, and it will make it transparent. They burn that thing to a crisp. They wipe it off, and then they lay it in the sun, and it will take the pigment out of any color. I've seen them purple. There was some that come out of Utah, and they're here in Beaver, Oklahoma right now. They come out of a cave, and there was like 8 of them, and this guy's got 4 of them, and he's one that taught me arrowhead hunting, and he's got those ceremonial spear points, and he's got a red one, purple one, white one, and a transparent one, and they're 8 inches long, and those are all for ceremonial.
I'm in heaven.
Why? What'd you get? Oh, she got her damn frosting. Damn it, Bonnie. I already know what she's got. I already know what she's got. Thought I asked you to stay away from that crap.
Thought I asked you to quit eating corn dogs.
Well, it's quickies. Frosting is not a meal.
Neither is a corn dog.
It's a snack.
Well, so is icing.
Hmm.
No, icing is not a snack. That's a 99-cent heart attack.
Well, there's that about it. It's a sugar high, man. Leave her alone.
Oh, yeah, she's going to spike and then crash.
Well, maybe you might get some sleep tonight, Shane, if she crashes.
Yeah, but she won't leave me alone long enough to do that.
Oh man.
Shane, those plastic tubs of frosting that you buy for frosting cakes? They're like a little.
Yeah, that's what she's eating with a spoon.
Right. Bigger. I knew a guy that could eat one of those with a spoon all at once. He could sit down and eat a whole tub of one of those.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
I can tell you a girl right now that's doing it.
I mean, I've actually seen him crack into a second one before. But oh my gosh, talk about that's like as much sugar as.
That is a
No.
cardiac arrest in the happening.
He's
tub
still
of
alive.
frosting lasts about 4 or 5 days. I don't sit and eat it all at once.
Sorry, I had to cough.
I've seen him do it, the whole tub.
See, I'm not the only one.
When my kids were younger, they used to eat that.
Oh, yeah. Now we need to go to Aaron Lewis. I'm not the only one.
I think it's one spoonful will last me a year.
Oh, my God. One spoonful put me in a damn hospital. I'd spike and go into a convulsion or something. I don't even eat cake with icing. We get them all the time when we order out. Now let's give you a dessert, and I won't even eat it. It's got icing. I won't even eat it.
Well, I used to be the same way, Shane, until I met a gal that made homemade frosting, and it made a whole difference. There's different kinds of frosting that come to find out.
Yes, there is. Now, I want to tell you that German chocolate cake, it's a chocolate cake with the coconut chocolate frosting. That I have a weakness for. That I have a weakness for, and I will eat it. And fudge at Christmas, I kind of screw up too. And I'll eat it. Man, I try to keep that to a mild minimum. I haven't eaten chocolate really since 1990, and sweets. Now I occasionally will slip. I had a brownie the other day, one of those fudge brownies. So I have been known to slip.
I have no eating restrictions like that. If I want chocolate, I'll eat chocolate until I don't want chocolate. If I want something salty, I'll get something salty. That's just how I've been all my life. I mean, I don't eat fast food. I don't do fast food joints at all. And I don't drink a lot of, I drink orange juice, coffee, water, and milk. So I'm a real party animal. And I've been like that for decades.
Well, in 1990, I got a toothache, and it was a cavity, and it was from eating so many damn sweets. So I quit eating sweets, and I had that cavity that was killing me that week. That cavity didn't get pulled till 2004. And just ever since then, I just haven't eaten many sweets. I just, every once in a while, I'll grab a little piece of something that's sweet. And yeah, I had to get away from all my favorites, and I just did it because I was tired of my damn teeth hurting. And toothpaste, I can break my damn arm. Okay, that's fine. Break my leg. Okay, that's fine. Break a rib. Yeah, it hurts, but go on. Toothache.
Oh, no.
I'm like a little bitch. I'm just crybaby.
It depends on what you mean by sweets, because sometimes I'll make myself one of those big casserole, big glass dishes of banana pudding. A whole box of wafers, like 6 to 8 bananas, 2 little packages of vanilla pudding, and I'll eat that whole dang thing in a few hours by myself.
Well,
Oh, wow.
well, I'm with you there because I will do banana pudding.
I just get in these moods to where I'm in the mood for that. It's like I know Anna's in there, like angel food cakes. I could eat
Mhm.
two. I could eat 2 of those things by myself, no sweat. There's nothing to them.
Well, that's what my mother used to make me for my birthday. Angel food cake, no frosting because she knew I didn't like it.
Yeah, just the way it is. If I
Oh
was going to
yeah,
put something on it, it'd be strawberries and
oh yeah. They
and
try to put Cool Whip and strawberries on it. Nope, not on mine. I want it
some
plain.
ice cream. Vanilla
Right.
ice cream and strawberries with it's pretty good too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I just
I
got
have to
away from
read all this
crap.
comment.
You have to what?
Patrick Kelly. I have to read you these comments. Patrick Kelly. I put a Florida rattlesnake in a Amazon box and taped it up and put it on my front porch. Only one day and someone stole it.
They got a surprise.
And Victor, I had velvet cake with lots of icing. Did I say lots of icing? With a glass of milk. Icing.
Yeah, you know the way Bonnie's heart through a tub of icing. I'll never get to her heart. Camo.
Hey, I
Cake is
already closed
cake
it
is
for eating.
health food, man. It's got eggs in it, so cake is healthy.
Cake is, but a jug of icing isn't.
And you know
See,
what? If you look it up, I find these articles. There's one that says there's 20 health benefits to eating chocolate. I'm not even kidding. It's a health food.
Well,
yes.
Dark chocolate is.
No, regular chocolate didn't specify dark chocolate only, and that's a good thing because you can have all the dark chocolate.
Well, that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to just get rid of all that crap because nobody will eat dark chocolate.
No, this was about regular chocolate, and
Yep.
I believe it. They used to be one of those foods that only rich people got too. Maybe they knew something.
Every few years they change it up, and I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
what or
Yeah, were
why.
you talking
Because
about like you were calling on how all of a sudden like eggs was healthy for you, then they weren't healthy for you, then they were healthy for
yes,
you, then they weren't healthy for you. Yeah, I've seen all that.
Yeah, that's what I was
yes,
exactly fixing to say was the eggs. But I had a mouthful of smothered burrito, so I was a little tied up.
yes, and they keep saying red meat's not good for you. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
what has put muscle back on my body, and
Protein, high protein.
yeah, and iron. I have to have that iron, and so yes, I eat red meat. We're in Texas. We want the real stuff.
Trust me.
None of that fake meat for you or me.
No,
Hmm.
give me a 20-ounce steak. I'm gonna be in heaven for a little bit. That and some steamed vegetables. Yeah, I'm in heaven.
And
Trust me.
it's
Have it delivered to me every couple of days. Sorry, Bonnie.
I'm not meat and potato. I'm meat and pasta. I am a meat and pasta girl.
I like that too, like
Meat.
fettuccine Alfredo,
Ugh,
stuff like that.
man. Meat and starch.
That's.
Quite
I asked Shane if he likes stroganoff. Now y'all can take
And
that.
I told
where
you.
think
I
might have
told
took
you.
that.
I told you I
Yeah,
like off when I'm by myself.
Oh my
and
gosh.
she used to be so innocent.
Oh, I know it. What has gone wrong with her? I must have corrupted her.
That's what the
Well, it's
internet
either you
does.
or me, Shane.
I know it. One of us did,
Well,
huh?
wait a minute. Hold
It's
up.
it's
Beef
the
stroganoff
interweb.
is a food. There is nothing nasty about it, but
It
it
is
was
good.
turned that way.
It
You
is
asked me
good.
if I like beef stroganoff, and I said only by myself. You took it wrong. That maybe just means I like to eat it by myself.
Whatever, whatever. You know that everybody here has these innuendos that come to mind every time something like that is said. Every time.
Yeah,
There's no getting around it. They're
Yeah,
your
like
but
little thought
minds are
bubbles. You can see them pop up over your mind, you know?
well,
hence the title, knee deep. We are
well,
knee deep in poop.
I ever called it. Okay.
And Tennessee Ridge Runner, hey,
Hello,
and
Tennessee.
Guardian. Who did I just see say hello, what line? Tennessee
Gigi.
Ridge Runner. Hey, Gigi. That's who I saw. Hey, girl. She-
Tennessee Bridge Runner. That's what I was saying. She asked me a personal question on national television. I didn't think that was appropriate. I
oh,
flat out
my
told her that's some more of your business. I do that by myself. Yeah, that livened up the damn crew.
Here we got a good fire going now.
What the
Tennessee
hell
Ridge
did
Runner, you never know.
you do? That's
Never
it.
I
know
get
what
off
you're
of
coming
here. I got to
into
do
here.
some Googling. You ought to see the video I took of the spider. His thorax was the size of a dime. I don't even know what kind of spider it was. I've never even seen one. And all the years here in Michigan, that's weird that I've just saw a massive spider that I've never seen before.
Well, come to Oklahoma. You'll see every spider you ever wanted to see.
Well, I know there's going to be ones down there I don't know, but up here I would have figured I've seen them all by now.
See, Hard Luck Survival makes it like I do, except I add cream mushroom soup.
I use cream of chicken because my daughter's allergic to mushrooms.
I use Southern Country gravy in a can. And it's got sausage in it. And it's damn
There you
good.
go. We'll
Oh,
blame
you think you
Gigi.
rubbed off on her first?
She corrupted me.
Yeah, she corrupted me.
Couldn't be all you men with your talk.
Couldn't have been anything to do with that.
Oh my goodness, D-Dog was really whoa.
Oh, he was wound last night, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He was a lot of fun.
You guys had a really good show last night after I left. I watched it this
Thank
morning.
you.
It was awesome.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Weird.
a little bit of everything, and that's what makes it good.
Yep. I don't think anybody did their homework.
Well, I can tell you right now, I didn't do mine because I got up, took care of business, went and laid down about 1:30. Finally got to sleep about 2. Got up at 3, and been here on these stations ever since. So yes, I didn't do any, but I had seen a lot of it.
I got a job done tonight, that I've been putting off for 5 months.
Was that a
Maybe
shower?
longer. Pardon, Shane?
I said, was that a shower?
No.
I'm just teasing you.
No. I had to go to the website and get my pay stubs copied for the place that paid for my hearing aids. So
Aha.
and I have to fight with that freaking page every time. So you have to call and get help and get in and da 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 da. Da. Just a shit show. But I got it done tonight. I'm happy. Yay.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow, Patrick Kelly. Carl, this is to you. We have some big spiders, and here in Florida, I saw a bird caught in a spider's web up in the trees.
I've heard about
Wow.
spiders that do that. Banana spiders or something. I know they got the golden orb spider down there, but I've heard of one bigger that'll actually make webs tree to tree that can snare small birds.
I've seen some
Goodness.
in documentaries that were pretty wicked. They could stop you in your tracks. If you was just walking normally along, yeah, they would stop you in your tracks.
Do y'all get those web worms, or are they just in oak trees here?
The
We
what?
get them.
Okay.
Web
What did you
worms?
say, Bonnie?
Oh yeah.
Web?
You might as well take me out full screen. I'm gonna turn the camera off. Got to run into the house anyway, but I might be back out here.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Okay,
get
Bonnie,
them
what did you
things too.
say about rug burns?
Linda, here we go.
That's funny.
Well,
I
I'm trying
like
to figure out how that had anything to do with spiders.
that.
Because weren't we talking about
Web.
spiders?
Dorinda, listen. Open your ears, huh? Get your hearing aid. WEB. Web worms.
Oh, web
WOR.
worms. Okay. I thought you said rug burns. And I'm like, what the hell does that have to do with the conversation?
Damn it, Shane, leave her alone.
Hi, Lily J.
Have you ever seen them rug burns? Nope. Never seen them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we get them down here on some of our trees, and they'll destroy a tree. They'll kill it.
Listen to that. I just love those sounds.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What is that, chipmunk?
There's a bullfrog.
Bullshit, that's dinner. That's frog legs.
In
They
one
are.
of the rent houses, yeah, in one of the rent houses we lived in, I had rock steps, and there was a hole kind of in one of the steps, and there was a big old bullfrog that stayed in there, and he would come out to greet me when I'd come home from work. He'd climbing up the steps, and he'd pop out, and I was like, "There's my baby." Yes, I pet frogs. I rescue turtles off the road when it's raining so they don't get run over,
Oh my God.
and frogs. I put them in my garden. I don't put them in the house.
We used to take and drive by and try to catch them turtles right on the ass end as you drive by and watch them shoot across the damn pasture. They would spit out that on the side of the tire. That was a lot of fun.
That is horrible.
That was
I
years
can't
ago. They shouldn't have,
believe that. Holy crap.
they shouldn't have been in the damn road.
That means you're supposed to stop and take them off the road, you dumbass.
Leave
That was
it to
years ago.
Dorinda to spit it out there.
Well, and now I avoid them. I try to straddle them. Every once in a while, we'll get to see one shoot off across the pasture, though, and I don't mean to. But it was when I was a kid, when I was young, yeah. We used to see if we could shoot them across the damn road.
Shane, that's awful.
We used to go out to a pond, and the turtles would come up to the top, not a 16 gauge, fully choked, and we'd shoot the water
I
right below
remember.
them. And
Thank
them
you.
things can fly 200 feet in the air. It seemed like. I mean, they go way the hell up there, then come back down, and then they go disappear for a little bit. Then they come back, and then we'd do it again. But this pond was full of turtles. Yeah, you could have made turtle soup for years out of that pond.
Oh,
What?
night, Rob. Y'all have a good night. Love y'all.
You know, the Ridge Runner, I think it may be. Hey, we're out here. We grew up in no man's land, man. There's nothing to do out here. There's nothing to do out here. You either drank, had sex. Well, that's about it. There was nothing else to do. I mean, there was nothing out here. You get, you know, growing up, it was pretty tough. So we did what we could to have fun. We when we was younger, when I was still living at home, and I was probably 14. Well, I wasn't that old. I was 12. We went out and crawled underneath the trailer house, and me and a couple buddies and my brother, and we catch all these damn frogs. We'd bring them and crawl back in the window. And we had one of those little post office looking boxes that you put the different squares and circles and stuff through the top to train kids. We had it plumb full of frogs. And apparently some of them crawled out and they was jumping down the hall. And my parents found them. My stepdad and my mom. And
See,
yeah,
now I can see chat. Hey, Gigi, hey, T girl, George, Jen. See, Jen saved a turtle. Yesterday, I spotted about a 16-inch snapping turtle crossing the yard, and I went out and I got some video of it up close. And I told him he was going the wrong way, so I walked back to the house, and sure enough, he turned around and went back to the swamp.
oh my God, we had a frog. It was probably a toad, but it was so damn big that when my stepdad put it in a 5-gallon bucket and he squatted down, he covered the whole bottom side of a 5-gallon bucket. Now, if anybody knows how
This one wouldn't have fit in a bucket. I mean, they get a lot bigger than that. This guy is bigger than the circumference of a bucket lid.
I know, Patrick Kelly, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm just
But
telling what we used to do. I mean, we're just telling history in the past. I mean, we can't change it.
I read up
And
on
Tico
the turtles
comment,
down
what does
there.
that mean?
We've got regular snapping turtles up here, but you guys got something called alligator snappers down there. And
Yes.
I was reading up on that, and apparently the northern snapper is better eaten, but they still eat the alligator ones down there.
Yes. Now, Bonnie, what was you saying?
I don't understand T Girl's comment.
I think she's in for a treat. Take your vitamins. Yeah, that's a good one.
Something Shane probably said.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, just putting up with me, probably.
True, Anna.
Very true, Anna.
Now, I'm not agreeing with that, but okay.
You're the one that said in the old days, because we keep talking about we have to get back to the old days, that the men were out working so hard. Well, everybody was, but they were too tired to do anything when they got home. Eat and go to bed.
I don't have to do anything. I'm still that way. No, I get out and do a little bit now, but not as much as I used to.
Oh my
No, T-girl.
goodness.
Boy, that cat is on fire tonight.
I mean,
You don't let you get away with anything tonight, Shane.
Do what?
T-Girl's not letting you get away with anything tonight.
Yeah, she's on point tonight. She's frisky as hell. I'm getting kind of used to getting scolded.
Yep,
Didn't
there's my face. What life has it? I just see 4 red balls. That's it. Red.
sorry.
Oof. That is crazy there, conservative.
Yeah, that
Oh,
is.
oh.
I was just reading
I
that.
have it. Well, I couldn't.
You notice how just everything is just so dang fishy these days?
Excuse me. Wow.
Wow.
See, and I never could find out who it was. I kept asking all over the place, does anybody know who did that? Because,
I knew pretty early on, but I watched. You know how I can, like I say, I watched like 5 of you guys live at the same time or whatever. That day,
yes,
I must have had 10 live YouTube videos open on the spot YouTubers, and I was watching other ones on the side of that. And you know what? If you put it all together, I saw a video of 2 busloads of people being escorted in by some type of officials, like police. And then I saw
yeah,
those people kind of hide out of the public view and change into patriotic clothing over top of black clothing. I'm not even kidding. They went from dark clothing to putting on Trump stuff, and
yes,
then they walked off and dispersed into the crowd, and they were, trying to hype the crowd up. And that's when they opened the barriers and let the people in closer to the building. And then they opened the doors and let the people in. And at one point, it looked like they were giving a tour of the building. It was
that's
this
what they
was
thought.
a complete freaking setup. And the more I learned about the whole day, the more it looks like it was all a complete setup. There's nothing that deters me from thinking that way. It was the whole thing was a sham.
Yeah, it was. And I had friends that were there. One of them is in the prison. And I saw the live videos that they were taking. And um, as soon as they got to the lawn where they were told to go to watch the big screen with the speech, they were being fired upon with stuff that was not harmless. And one of those, um, he was trying to do first aid because he's a nurse. And the the 5 deaths were not uh, police. Sorry.
Okay, did Bonnie's granddaughter come in the room, or why did Bonnie stop talking?
Because I was like, no response. Okay.
Because we were all
Um,
listening.
and yes, the doors were opened. And yes, they thought they were getting a tour of the Capitol. Because those doors, unlike, like, say, our school doors, or um, these are thick. I think they're steel, lead, something doors. They're not just your little doors. And the only way to open them is from the inside. There was no way that those people opened them.
Nobody should have
I
gone
saw
in,
too
but it was a
much.
trap. Nobody should have
Yep,
fell for it, but it was a trap.
it was, and it worked. It. I even saw people that I never would have thought say things that they said on Facebook, and I was just shocked that they fell for it hook, line, and sinker. And I was, are you kidding me? And I even played the one that was a nurse. The next day, he did a video, and he was crying his heart out, the things he saw. And he said, it was like we were in a war zone out on the lawn. They weren't anywhere near the Capitol. And what he was trying to do to save people. And it was just, it took him, he didn't go back on for quite a while after that. It took him a while to get over seeing what he saw. It was not like it was portrayed at all. And those people were not armed
No.
that were out there. It They were acting like it was a big rally. That's what the intention was. That it was kind of like a big rally,
There were
showing
7
that.
devices. There were 7 devices found around the area. I never did get an exact location of where they were found, but also some of the people in the Capitol building had divulged that they were told to reach under their seats, and for the first time ever, they had gas masks already for them underneath their seat.
Oh wow, yeah, you don't hear about that. Wildlife, I heard 400. I'm not sure if that's correct or not.
I don't think it's quite 400, but there is several. That's if they're still being held. Now, we don't even know if they're still being held, but that's what they're still pushing. So, because they'd have to be declared by a court of law a domestic terrorist before they can be held without any court date.
You guys see conservatives comment?
Yep, I just saw that.
Do you suppose, I mean, anybody here in chat and everybody on panel, do you suppose that you ever seen those, statistics of how many shootings there are throughout the country all the time? And there used to be quite a bit. Do you suppose that they're going to start using every shooting that happens now to put it up there into the news for their agenda? I suppose they're going to amplify everything that normally happens.
Oh, you know they're going to.
In my opinion, there's a lot of hiring going on. Put it that way.
Gigi, on your question, while you're sitting there, and since you're not on screen, look up Manu. Take Tanu Island. It's a French Polynesian island. Look it up.
Well, you better spell it for her.
Manutatu. I do believe is how it's spelled. It's a French Polynesian island. It will melt your heart. You will not ever want to see nothing ever again. I think I showed it to Bonnie once.
I don't know. I could probably never survive on an island. I'll
I could
admit it.
definitely live on an island. I could definitely do that.
Oh
I
my
could
God.
see you doing that, Carl, because you have the.
Lifelong dream.
I used to joke all the time. Why don't I have my, abandoned deserted desert island with an ex-military base on it, my I dream a genie wife in my flying car. I'd have been all set.
Well, part of that sounds pretty good. Part of that sounds like a nightmare.
Gas prices for a flying car. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Patrick Kelly, you are very welcome. I knew what y'all were doing, but
Ooh, doggy. There's another one. That one is worth reading. Big breaking news. Former Pennsylvania Democrat Congressman Michael J. Myers pleads guilty to fraudulently stuffing ballot boxes for Democratic candidates.
Imagine
Burn!
that.
Burn! Burn! Man,
yep.
she's, I've been telling people there's things going on. All right, this ain't over. There's things happening, and that's the second one I know. There was a gal in Arizona pleaded guilty, and she apparently is singing like a bird. And there's things going on in Georgia. There's things going on in Wisconsin. There's things going on here in Michigan.
If I'm not
This ain't
mistaken,
over yet.
there's been four of them arrested in Arizona. If I'm not
Man,
mistaken.
see, I didn't do that search today, but every day I've been searching up selection arrests.
So, Patrick Kelly, what would that mean?
Oh, several NSA and federal marshals today in Maryland. Wow.
Mhm.
I don't know what that would mean. So,
I just hope this
Means
gets
something was
fixed.
going on in Maryland.
yeah. So, this is really exhausting. I mean, I don't know if it is for all of y'all, but trying to
Oh,
keep up with
Cindy.
everything, and then, um, yeah, I had seen where some California politicians had done that. So, but
See, I didn't hear that, Cindy. I'm gonna have to Google that too. I'm gonna start compiling a list.
okay, Patrick. So, why would we be shown these little victories if this big plan of uh, fewer people is in play? What?
You want to know why?
Yes, I do.
Giving people false hope, bud. Giving people false hope.
Here's the thing. I watched this guy named ANN News, and I think it was 3 days ago, he put out in the morning breaking news: military arrests in Arizona, and it was
Is
gone
that
within
Vlad?
minutes. Yeah, it was gone within minutes. All right, they took both of his channels down,
Yes.
both videos off of both of his channels. And a few people I sent it to saw it, but he came back an hour later with a new video. Said, "I don't even know. I didn't even. They got that fast." So he changed it, and he was a little more careful in his wording. And I think there's things going on they don't want us to know yet.
And I was trying to find him to show. I think I was talking about him last night. Sometime I was talking about him. I was like, I like Vlad. And everybody's all, who? And so I was looking for his channel and I couldn't find it. And I was like, that's really weird.
They took him down for that, and everything that he's reported on in the last over a year I've been watching him has always been factual. He never pumps up BS. So I think he said something he wasn't supposed to say.
Yep.
I can hope. But then again, seriously, I always keep in the back of my mind, no expectation, no disappointment. Because I don't know how this is going to go. There- Nobody knows how this is going to go.
Yep. That's why I still think we need to communities get together. We see what's happening with the food processing plants, whatever you call them, the warehouses,
You know,
the
it
crops,
won't hurt
the
to be over prepared. It's better to be over prepared than under prepared.
that's right, because you're going to use that food no matter what.
Hey,
Stock up on it.
you cycle through it. You keep buying it and just use this, fronting on the
Yes.
shelf to where you use up the stuff you've had the longest. Keep a cycle going.
Yep. Hey, Ray. Oh, it did.
What?
Your avatar
Yeah, what about it?
changed.
Huh. I'll be go to help.
Ray was just noticing it.
Yeah, I seen that. Yep.
Not the
Definitely
latest
grayed up.
one.
Wait, I missed something.
Mm.
Mm. Was that Patrick Kelly you just read? Mm.
Yes, Cindy, it has for almost the entire show. I did change it during the show, but yes, it is right up first. Reasonings we're not going to speak about.
Yeah, I heard about this one too today.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that place. Even is real raw news legitimate, or is that one of those hokey sites?
Real raw news.
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure about. It's not a. I don't know that source.
Yeah, it's not a bad site. You just got to be very. Depends on what they're talking about as how true it's going to be. That's the problem. A lot of what they talk about speculation, but some of it they're spot on because you can find it in other places.
That's kind of true.
Yep, that is
As
exactly
they
It's
say,
good to see
those who
you here.
know don't sleep. As they say, those who know don't sleep at night.
Yes. I haven't heard that name before, but it's good to see you here.
Some
News
people are
Clues.
just a
Good to
little
see
more
you.
invested in it. You know,
Yes.
it's not for everybody. Some people have more invested in it than others.
Well, and that's why I never did go down any of the rabbit holes. I was like, yeah, this is. I mean, I know it's going on in Texas, close to the border. I know what's going on at the border, and so I know that that's going on nationwide. I know a lot of things that are going on, but Man, some of this stuff is just like we are in the
Right on,
twilight
believe
zone.
I believe in what I understood was that she was going to show up for court on the 12th and plead not guilty. But the raid on the nonprofit organization yielded information that convinced her to plead guilty, in which she did. And then she was disclosing information in I guess, a plea arrangement. That's at least that's what I read up on.
Well, I'm kind of glad that word came up. I personally wouldn't trust anything that even came out of that place. Just
You
saying.
know, this is how much I trust any of it. I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden Durham came out and said, "Yep, Trump cheated in 2016 and he's guilty."
Yeah.
Because the way things go, you know.
Yep.
There ain't no telling what's going to come out of his mouth if he ever decides to say something. Ain't no telling.
That's
And
just to the
I'll be
so,
back.
word.
so is it an octagon shaped building? I think.
Which one? Pentagon?
Are they over our military?
Huh?
Are they over our military?
The Pentagon?
Yeah.
Yes and no. It's kind of a yes. The Pentagon does control kind of. They're supposed to be the intelligence for the military. They're supposed to be the ones that to send out the information and the generals act upon it. Then you get to the chair force, which is all the ones that sit up there and they have no power over nothing. They sit up there in Washington D.C. looking all pretty and prim and proper. They have no power, but they're supposed to be advisors, and they seem to think that they run the Pentagon, and they do not. So there's a lot of misconceptions on how the government works, especially when it comes to the military.
I just, uh, I don't know why. I guess seeing some of them speak, I'm just concerned about
No,
those
hang on.
people.
No, Tennessee Bridge Runner. No, it's the Joint Chiefs of Staff. They have no power. They cannot force anybody to do anything. Now, if they listen to them, yeah, well, we knew that. But anyway,
Yep.
yeah, the Joint Chiefs of Staff have nothing to do other than they advise supposed to give wise decisions to the administration that's at hand, and then they make suggestions to the military, but they have no force over the military. I know Millie thinks he's runs and owns the damn army, and he does not. He is retired. Yes, Tennessee Ridge Runner, you're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Well, even so, if they were,
Yes.
I don't even know how to put this. It just seems like any first defense, Department of Defense, any defense would be uh, defending, but they took the oath to defend.
Yeah, well, it's pretty bad that the last
So
6, 8 years they've went on the offense against the American people instead of the defense against foreign nations, and that's all they're supposed to be there for.
yes,
That's just the bottom line. That's a fact. Don't believe me? Look up any news you want to. You'll see it happening.
I know.
Yes, Ray, that is correct. Also, hey, Jody,
What y'all doing?
we don't know. We're making it up as we go.
I
Hey,
heard
Chuck.
that. So
Sounds about right.
So we're the ones in charge, I guess. Hey guys,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I've been on the phone, so tied up a little bit, and I just now got off.
I'm glad somebody did.
Hey, everybody out there. So y'all think I traumatized people earlier?
Oh no, you did a good job earlier.
I missed something good.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
watch it tomorrow, Chuck.
Uh,
I said I'm gonna have to watch it tomorrow. I missed it. I was busy doing paperwork, so I didn't get to see your show.
Do you have it up still?
yeah, I didn't drop it.
Okay. Yeah,
Cowboy,
Carl.
is that the new? Is that a new report, or is that the same report that I heard about last week? Actually, I think it was a little longer than a week ago. I heard something similar.
Yeah, I've heard that too last week.
Yes, yes,
Now, T.
we put
Carroll,
that
you're
out.
gonna have to turn your hearing aids down. You hear too much.
Yeah, Carl, I got big into talking about the drones and all kinds of stuff like that earlier.
There's some research people can do on anti-drone tactics. That's pretty good information.
Yeah, but what, a half hour or so on it?
I have to go. Is it still up? I'll go watch it later. You say
It's
it's still
bad
up, Chuck?
graphics.
Hold on, let me turn it. I can't hear you.
Is
Go
the
ahead.
video still up, or did they
Yeah.
already? All right, I'll go back and watch it. They don't strike you before then.
Yeah.
Anytime if I ever do any more live, Chuck, I'm just going to delete them right when they're over, because they gave me strikes on all of mine and took them anyways. So I'm just going to beat them to the draw.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I started off with active denial stuff and went through a satire, innuendo-ish kind of drone talk about some of the possibilities, but it was fake. And then went into the real drones from 2016. But that's 6 years of stuff, so if you can imagine it, that's probably real.
Oh, they've made huge leaps and bounds in the technology for drones just in the last 10 years. I mean, yeah, all kinds of stuff. And if we know about what we know about, they probably have 30 years more advanced stuff that we won't see.
And that's it. By the
Yeah.
time we find out, we're already so far behind the 8 ball, it doesn't even matter.
Hell, the fucking computer they gave Bill Gates today, we won't see out there to none of us
Oh,
probably
how
for
many?
5 years.
Night, Kay. Kay, you are really close to where that meeting's going to be held. If you can get there, that would be awesome. So you can report.
Hey, Marilyn.
It's in Meridian.
Hey, Lily.
Yeah, Spider Rabbits probably knows more about advanced tech than we do.
Yeah, I think so.
I just know, I remember back in the first Gulf War, around 91, I remember being told that the satellites could pick up, if you put 3 grapefruits on your picnic table and you moved one of them, the satellite would detect that close a movement from space. They could detect that. They could detect troop movement that well. Well, it was just 10 years later, and it was the size of a dime now. I mean, they advanced in 10 years. They went from the size of a grapefruit down to the size of a dime in their satellite recognition programs, which that was a long time ago, people. They've got, they got tech. They just weren't showing us, you know. You go into the science manuals and stuff, you'll see stuff that they've come out with that they won't show us. I mean, I had a popular science, popular mechanics, and some outdoor magazine subscriptions. I had them for 20 years. I had them through the 60s up into the 80s. And they were coming up with ideas back then in the 70s that they're using now. I mean, they come up with the stuff. If it works real good, they might not even show you.
Hey, Brenda.
Crowd control devices. The military has so much tech. People have no clue. And that's what's weird is that we're not seeing any of it used.
Or are we?
Well, we're
Once
not
you watch
seeing
that
it used.
video, right?
I'm not
But
saying it's not being
once you watch Chuck's video, you'll think, hmm, well, that makes a lot of sense with the agenda that's being pushed right now to take away 1A,
Yeah.
2A, not 1A.
It all
used. I haven't
starts.
seen Possum King anywhere.
Yeah, I ain't seen 1A in a while.
I did at Mad Shad, and he is going by Shipwreck again.
Right on, as long as it's all right.
Right, way back at Heather's, he was going by Shipwreck.
Shipwreck and 1A is two different people.
All right, you sure?
Yeah. Look, Shipwreck has his own channel up still. Look at it. It's got him. He's the one that did all that bushcraft stuff.
Yes.
1A was
And
they were two different guys.
okay, I sure thought that was the same one because
1A is the one that they all got in and talked a bunch of crap to and got him upset and then turned it around on him. Remember? Yeah, Shipwreck. He's two different dudes. They look a lot alike, but I think the guy that played 1A, he's younger and I don't think he's married. Shipwreck's got a wife. I think he's got kids too.
that's right. Shipwreck does.
Yeah, because he used to hang around all of us, remember?
Well, they're both talking about delivering bread, so that's why I thought they were the same person. I think.
I knew him somewhere and I forgot who he was. Somebody was in there, Mad Chad, when he was in this. You remember Chucky hung around y'all back when blah, 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 back when, what's his name? Jeff and Heather were still on. It sure in hell seems like it's been a lot longer since they were on than it has been, huh? I love it. Constantly going through all this weird shit month to month. It's like time flies, but it also seems like it's longer in spots.
Good night, Marilyn. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, it seems like the months are flying by, but it seems slow motion
You know that PO box
things
stuff we sent
happen.
a while back? Some of that stuff can't make it because it's got batteries in it. We have to figure another way. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. So it has to go by ground?
I'm thinking or find some way to do it or something. He's on here. We can get him on maybe after the show. Maybe he can explain it.
Yep.
Yeah, we were on the phone probably right after I logged off. So an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes.
So now,
I think time goes faster the older you get. Seemed like when I was young, things took forever. Now it just seems to fly by.
well,
Good night, Marilyn.
Chuck, we got to figure out a way to get our sheriffs. Well, D-Dog said I could send an affidavit to mine telling him to go,
Rob, you're
but
completely
it's like,
fine. Yeah, mine.
and that's what I was going to say, but does that mean they'll go? You know?
I don't know what mine. When everybody telling me they're dirty as hell here. I wondered why I wouldn't get any call back.
All right, I'm going to read this one that conservative just dropped. Are you guys ready? It's somebody on Telegram named Julian Edward. The stage is set. Think logically about the timing of everything. Number one, Thursday night on national TV, we shall have the January 6th hearings. Number two, Roe versus Wade overturn will cause mass riots. Three, Julian Assange being extradited will cause mass riots in the UK and perhaps Australia. Number four, note, the only Q drop with Converse in it is the one I posted. Look what it says. What are the odds? Number five, China's getting ready to supposedly go to war. Russia is already in wartime mode. China next? Question mark. Global military X. Question mark. Number six, look at the green drops. Number seven, what makes a movie good? Great actors. Matthew, an incredible actor. Number eight, liquid drop, 3 nights. So this goes on and on, guys. It's all about Q2. So
Huh. Hey,
hey,
Silver
Silver
Girl,
Girl,
LHS. Good to see ya.
I should have scrolled down that page before I started reading it.
Meh.
Well, D-Dog's right with his quest. You know, from the
Yeah, that's
ground
what.
up, everything he's doing is correct. I can still hope that something's going to come down the other end. It would be nice for it all to happen at once.
Hello, Jim Boswell. Good to see you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bonnie, I'm about to bust over to 600 again. I wonder how many they're going to take from me overnight.
Oh, I know.
It got up to 605 here a while back, and then when I woke up, it was 570.
Okay, that's not good.
It's not like I'm dwelling about the number. The thing about it to me, it's kind of like you go out in the yard and you dig a hole. You go out there the next morning, and the hole's filled back up, and it's like, what the hell?
No, I
You
was
know, Jim,
talking about.
I've never felt like those countries have been so weak. I wouldn't, they could, I could just see that coming. I can imagine it happening just because they see weakness in us.
Yes.
Sorry if it offends
That's,
anybody, but me, I'd be the first one to tell them to go take a flying fuck. Sorry about my language.
Well, I'd be standing right beside you, Chuck. And I don't see it happening. I really don't. I think it's another false flag. I think it's more misinformation trying to get everybody riled up so we comply and try to dump a bunch of money in. So they supposedly are going to build up our military after they tore it down. It's just another BS story.
I can't see the future. I can't speculate what's going to happen. All it feels like to me is like we've been riding the edge of a blade. It could go either way, and we're getting to the end of the blade. Like something's going to give, no matter what.
that would.
Hey, Brad,
Something has to give.
they built the military up. Hell, they took all they could to tear it down, and they've got a bunch of people now, and a lot of them anyway, that look between their legs and don't know what sex they are.
Well, it's pretty damn frustrating to be able to see that and not see any action on it, isn't it, Chuck? I mean, to me, it's pretty dang clear. I keep saying it over and over and over. You know, pretty sure that the goal is to destroy America, take freedom out of the equation, get us into this whole new one world order, and then control the people and the population. That's what they're trying to do. They want to make it all. They want us. They're destroying us every way they can. They have been for years. They're weakening us in every way they can.
Well,
Infiltrating us.
they get it like the standing stones say, Georgia Guidestone. They get it to that number. It's a lot easier to control that than 7 times that.
Yeah, they don't need all of us. We're deplorable. Remember, we're
That's like I said,
Expendable.
they would rather see the stuff poured on the dirt. Than, even if they don't want it, they'd rather it poured on the dirt than let anybody else have it.
They forget to think all the way through. That's all I'm going to say. Well, they're so smart they forget to think things all the way through because
That's
the less
smartest
people,
part.
the less money they make, the less food they get, the less cars and manufacturing and toys. They forget to think shit all the way through.
Or it's just complete equal treatment, or both. But they got that bad habit of that they're the smartest one in the room, and if nobody knows it, or if they don't know it, nobody does.
Yeah, well, they don't know their ass from hole in the ground, and that maybe needs to be the latter of the two.
They know how to fuck up a ketchup sandwich, I tell you that.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yep, Jim got rid of our arms. We don't have them here, and they go over there, and they're probably done been put on the market.
Oh,
I'll be
yeah,
back.
they're, yeah.
I'll be back, guys.
Okay.
The deep state eBay. Dorinda Rabbit said you look amazing.
I just thanked him.
He said he was watching one day and you had your elbows and arms crossed and he thought you whipped your boobies out in front of camera.
I did not.
You were wearing like a pink shirt or something that one day and you kind of crossed your arms, your elbows were up, and he's like, he was on the phone and he's like, She just flashed.
No, I did not. Bonnie would have given me shit for that one.
Yeah, damn it, Dorinda, put your pasties back on.
Yeah, and I would have been embarrassed and left. Period. And probably not come back.
Tell you what,
Spotted rabbit's not
before you do it, start a Cash App.
Spotted rabbit's not telling you no more secrets, Chet.
Yeah, I've seen that. I didn't know it was a secret, so I was just like, damn, I miss everything.
He put it in chat. It wasn't that big of a secret. Dorinda,
Well,
next time do that. Wear a short sleeve shirt and put pasties on your elbow, on both of them, and then give us all a show.
Yeah, Brenda, I didn't see two of them. I've seen one, and I've seen it before. I've watched it. Yeah, I've seen that one about the North Pole.
Yes, Tennessee Ridge Runner. I like Ron White too, and I heard that was hilarious. Once you see him, once you see one set, you pretty much
No, you got to see
them
them.
all.
You got to take note. Yeah, I know women are all like, you guys are talking about all this kind of. I've seen how you women act when there's a guy out there, not an ugly guy working on the telephone line or whatever, and he puts that belt on. Y'all look like dogs that just seen somebody break out steaks for the grill.
They start,
when he
yeah,
puts the
wagging
belts on,
they start wagging their tail, and it's like a Shih Tzu hound in the pasture side of a pickup.
Would you like a
And
Coke
fucking
or some
drooling.
tea? Would you like a Coke or some tea?
what? Y'all lost me. What's talking about the belt?
We're talking
I
about
have
basically,
no.
Ronnie, if you had a serviceman show up on there with a tool belt and he looked like Tom Selleck in some Wranglers, you wouldn't be like, woo-wee. I mean, Tom Selleck 30 years ago, not now. I'm not talking about it.
Even now, come on.
Well,
That's
Tom
all about
Selleck's, I think Tom Selleck's husband would get pissed off.
No, you got to say it right. He's not gay. His boyfriend is.
Right. He just does a reach around. Yeah, Monty, she's wanting me to put on a pair of Wranglers, my cowboy hat, and no shirt. So,
I said shirt optional. You can
oh,
wear a shirt.
it's probably best
Doesn't
if I
matter.
do. I wouldn't want to scare you off.
Here you go. LHS has it.
Look at that nice butt, though. Come on.
Successful coffee run.
Yay.
But we can always look, Anna. Always look.
Oh, my grandmother used to always say that. I may be married, but I'm not dead. And it's like, grandmother. Because she's the one who taught me, you always be conservative. Your clothes are conservative. Everything you do is conservative.
Conservative cowboy, you asked me a question, so I would like to see the article on that and see where it's from. Sorry, I got caught up with Tennessee Ridge Runner throwing his
I
little
see
fun shit.
that.
But yeah, no, I'd like to see the article on that because that's interesting. And Tennessee Ridge Runner, you're just not right, man. That's just not right. Be fair to me.
It's the trouble with comments like that is once you start to read them, you don't realize that it's something you don't want to read until you're already too far in.
Oh, I know it. Jim, I seen something about that. That I did. Oh
Oh,
my God.
look who pops in.
Are we just talking about him?
There goes the
Yes.
neighbor. Here we go. Ain't no party without a D-Dog party.
I thought Wranglers still made their jeans in the States.
Yeah, for the most part.
Oh, okay.
We don't even make denim in this country anymore.
Well, we do, but we just don't. They don't. We still make a lot of things here that, but they press it down so bad it's easier to buy it from a different country. It's like Hanes shirts. You know, they're American made, but they are so damn hard to get right now that it's everybody found it's cheaper just to go somewhere else and get a off brand.
Oh my God.
Oh, really? Believe it? Wow.
You know, they're called packs. I can make mine dance. I can still do push-ups and sit-ups and all that stuff.
I can still do sit-ups. I know that.
Yeah, sorry about walking off. I had to go mix up a batch of diesel. I'm running low.
Oh my God, David's going to jump in on it now. Come on, David. You can do 100 push-ups? My God, what are you, 20?
That's 100 days.
Yeah, well, is he talking about 100 push-ups in a day or a week? Or
A month?
100 days.
My thing was when I was younger. I mean, I'm old. I'll admit it. I don't know. I could probably do it if I worked up for it, but I could do 60 sit-ups in a minute, and I could do 75 push-ups in a minute. There was a time in my life I could do that.
Oh my
I
God.
never could. I didn't want to and don't care.
1, 2, 3, floor. You're done.
That would be me.
I can clap a couple times between push-ups still. I can still do them up against the wall.
Have a tomato.
Shit he comes up with.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about men seeing girls and girls seeing guys and all that. And Vicky told me a long time ago, she goes, "Don't chase cars you can't catch." I was like, "Yeah, pretty much true." It's like,
Yep, that's it.
and it got to be here a while back. We were somewhere, and she goes, "I saw you looking," and I was like, "What?" And I end up, she's looking at her where some girl's bent over, her butt hanging out bottom of her shorts, and I'm like, "I didn't even see that." And now it's like she said something. I'm like, "What I miss? What I miss?"
Yeah, no shit. Why didn't you point it out? My ex-wife, she'd elbow me and say, "Look at that! Look at that!" Some old gal be walking by with her butt hanging out her damn shorts or a bikini or something. She'd point them out. So I was appreciative of her, because if not, I'd have missed it.
Yeah, I don't piss on tires anymore either. 'Cause I don't want the aggravation.
I'm gonna have to do another exercise challenge video. I see chat talking. There's a one push-up that I do that if you put your hands together under your nose and then count 1, 2, 3 hands out. You put with your hand out above your head. Do a one-armed push-up with your whole body. That's the one I'm probably going to show people how to do that. It's a core strength thing where your hand is one-handed push-ups, but your hand is above your head, so it's stretched out. It takes every muscle in your body to do it.
Yes,
Oh,
and then
You don't break an elbow.
we still pissing on
No,
pizza.
I've
I
been
put
doing
my
it.
head on doorways and I can see on top of the refrigerator.
I did all this stuff all my life. I like to try to keep doing it, you know? I think it's good to keep doing stuff.
Superman push-up.
Hell, I remember I was working construction at 16, 18 years old. Me and a buddy of mine started at the same time. We're doing concrete forms for an apartment complex. And me and him carried 8 20-foot long 2x12s. He was at the front, I was at the back, on our shoulder, and walked a half a mile across the complex. Everybody else they were sending over there, the two other groups of guys, they grabbed 2 at a time. Me and him grabbed 8.
Concrete and brick mason work is real work, man. I did all that when I was younger, too.
Yep.
And now I wouldn't try to drag one 20-foot 2x12.
I'm going to tell you, I used to carry 20-foot 2x12s, 3 at a time. I did that most all my life.
So you can know how heavy fucking people carrying 8 of them are, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. My brother, he was known. At one time, we put there was 10 sheets of 3/4 plywood, tongue and groove, and we slid them out on him. He put them on his back, and he carried them about 100 to 200 feet. Stood them against the wall, and we slid them up one at a time, and it took 2 guys to pull them up on the roof. And he did 10 of them. We used, like I said, we built houses our whole damn lives, so we was used to it. And I've had muscle builders, people that went out bodybuilding, that worked for us, and they, it's a different type of muscle. They don't have the strength it takes to carry that stuff because they're used to working out with dead weights.
Yeah,
And
stamina.
yeah, and in certain positions. Well, when you get to walking around with this crap, it's a whole different story. And that's what we've done our whole lives.
Yeah, the boss man, after we got done with that, he goes, "Where's my truck at?" Over there by the road where you said you wanted it unloaded. You said, "Unload my truck over there. There's wood in the back." He goes, "Why didn't y'all bring it in here and unload it?" I said, "You didn't say bring it in and unload it. You said unload my truck. We did what you said, not what you wanted."
Right.
Hey, Jim, I worked on a tree farm or two. I remember being able to take 16 penny nails and pin the burlap around the the trees, and it was something that not everybody could do. You know what I'm talking about, Jim?
I do.
That's real hard work too. Tree farms are no joke. Jim just said he's got a tree farm, man. That's big time work.
It is.
Yeah, I used
One
to
of the uncles has a peach orchard.
Bonnie, plug in, please.
I'll
Unless you're
mute.
no, just plug in, or unless you're outside, you're fine. You're crackling a little bit. the only reason I said that.
Shane can see your crack.
Yeah, I can. And I can hear it. It's crackling. Crack-a-lacking.
He said your crack's making noise.
Conservative has a thing up for you, Shane.
I see that.
I wasn't sure if you see it, so that's why I said it.
No,
Sorry.
you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, before I can, since it's in private, I've got a highlight out of it.
Chuck, I object to that comment.
Bonnie,
Huh?
we can understand you.
You do fruit trees, Jim, or is it decorative trees, ornamentals, or you do them all? Did I lose you guys? Got quiet.
No, you're fine.
All right on, Jim.
That's awesome, Jim.
Why did it get so quiet? What was the noise that we were hearing in the background?
It was
don't know.
Bonnie. She was talking, and we were waiting for Bonnie to finish, but she ran away.
I
We
think she was
chased her
out.
out.
Well, she was crackling, and so she was probably outside smoking with her laptop, went back in, or she was somewhere else, but in the kitchen or something. Because when she unplugs, it gets a little crackly on her. That or I pissed her off. Maybe that was the case.
No, it was crackling.
Oh, I know.
We're just gonna go with that, Shane.
Oh, okay.
Hello, David N. Hello, Deanna. Again.
D's in. Yep. Hey, D. Patrick Kelly and everyone say hello to everybody I missed. I'm sure I missed some. When you're on a phone on a panel, you got to click on the chat to see everything. Then you can't see what's going on in the panel.
Right. Yeah, you got to make a choice.
Yeah, everybody in chat might not realize that when somebody's on a panel using their phone, they don't see everything that's going on.
Not if they're paying attention to the chat or to the panel. Yeah.
Right.
And most of the time, half of us we're not even clicked on. So yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't know to click the option that says live chat. When you enter into a chat, to go up to the top where the little chevron is and click that arrow and select live chat, because it's on default is top chat, meaning if somebody's talking to you in the chat, you're not even going to see their replies. YouTube's showing you what they want to show you unless you choose otherwise.
Yep. That's it.
I've seen people get upset. Hey, how come nobody's seeing my comments? And, you know, it's because they didn't know about that. And I've seen also, you know, the host of a panel miss stuff in chat for the same reason.
Oh, yeah.
I did find a thing in my, when I did a live, I found a setting that you have to do it every time, though, that you can select to where it goes automatic to live chat. for both for the people in chat and yourself. So
Oh
you have
yeah,
to
it
do,
takes a little digging.
yeah, and you have to do it each time. You have to select it. It's not a setting that stays.
Right.
You might be missing stuff, D. I don't know.
Ain't no telling. Because we don't know what you're seeing or not seeing.
Awesome, David.
Is that a motorcycle or a bicycle or a horse? What's he riding?
He's got a 3-wheel bicycle that he rides.
Oh, one of them ones where you're almost laying down.
Yeah. Looks kind of uncomfortable for me, but hey. He says it's comfortable, so I go with that.
I thought that was made for drunks. That way they didn't fall over.
Believing there's several tree barks that are edible, and they can be used like pasta. If you know how to cook it's called the cambrium layer that goes underneath the bark. You can get it from black birch. You can get it from pine trees. You can get it from let's see. There's like 5 or 6 different trees that actually at times in the past pioneers and starving groups of people almost ate trees into extinction because they use so much tree bark.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Well, and you got to also understand that you can't eat the bark around the ground level. You got to be up a little ways. Because if you eat it all around the bark, the ground level, the ground will rot the tree and kill it.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like with the black birch, which is actually a white tree. I don't know why they call it a black birch because the scars are black on it. But that tree, if you were to take a knife and just go around the tree with a knife, full circumference with a groove cut in it, you kill the tree. If you take half the bark off of a birch tree, it'll continue to grow and recover. But you know how humans are when they were using that for paper and for food, they just stripped the whole trees and it put hurting on them. Man, it's like dead quiet when I quit talking.
Did you see in Australia where they do them cork trees and they peel the bark off of it for the cork?
Yeah, and then big sheets.
Yep. They damn near strip them completely.
Haven't seen that. But there was back in the 70s, right on Grand Traverse West Bay in Michigan, there was a cork factory, and when it was being torn down in the 70s, you know, but that whole lot to this day, there's a big like 2-3 acre lot right on the water of the West Bay. It's just covered in pieces of cork, just piles of it, mountains of cork. Probably came from where y'all are talking. They used to ship it in there, you know.
Yeah, cork's a high demand, and I don't know why it's such a high demand, but man, they go through, they have hundreds and thousands of trees that they strip.
Well,
They
see,
do it
there's
all the time.
trying to think for Jim and the conversation in chat. It's poplar trees, pine trees, birch trees, and I think there's another one. Aspen. I think it's aspen. It's not even bad. It's pretty good. If you get, you know, you take the cambrium layer out, like I said, it's a thin sheet, and if you cut it up in little strips like pasta and soak it in water and then cook it up, it's pretty dang good. And it's good for you.
I never had that. But I'm not aware that I've got a lot of them trees around here either.
Okay, I'm glad back in. Thank y'all for taking over everything. And what kind of trees are you eating, Cameron?
Oh my God.
Pine tree.
The edible
Pine?
bark trees are pine, aspen, poplar, birch. There might be another one, and plus, I'm talking about my area, so you guys might even have some other trees down there you can do the same with. I'm not aware of. Yes, red bratwood
Well,
wood. You take what it is if you take the outer layer bark off the tree, which everybody's aware of. There's another layer called the cambium layer that circulates all the water for the tree. And it's if you cut again into the tree, you can take that off almost like the bark came off before it gets to the hardwood underneath of it.
Hmm.
Maybe I ought to do a demonstration video someday, huh?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, you ought to.
because always
It'd be interesting.
would. We have oak and cedar. Allergic, deathly allergic to cedar. And I really don't think I want to eat an oak tree.
You don't want no hardwood.
Oh, here we go.
I didn't mean that bad. You took that wrong.
I think Dee just called me Cosmo. Do they taste like purple? I could probably make them purple for you, Bill Dog.
Just bruise them a little bit.
Find something to add in there.
Good, Jim.
You guys know about, all right, now we're going to go into this subject. I can go here all day. But you know what the supermarket of the swamp is? I've been telling people, does anybody here on the panel know what the supermarket of the swamp is?
Fish.
Nope.
Nope.
Washington, D.C.
Cattails.
Hey, Dorinda, ding, ding, ding. She wins. Did you look that up?
No.
All right. Well, every part of the plant, I mean, and everybody knows what a cattail is.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can produce a whole lot of food. If you really needed it, there's something like the root's called a rhizome, and it's it can go pretty deep into the muck. You pull that out, and for like the total length of the root and like 8 inches of the stalk can be eaten raw, and it tastes like cucumber, and it's super high in vitamin C, and it's good. Then you can take the remainder of the stalk and cook that, and it comes out like it's steamed asparagus or something. But you can use the leaves for weaving. You can use the head of the cattail can be used for stuffing, for insulation, fire starter. You can make tiki torches out of them. If you catch them in the summertime, you can shake them in a bag, get all the pollen out of it. You mix that pollen with water, and you get good little biscuit cakes you can cook on a skillet. I mean, they're good. Uh, the plant is a super resource to know.
Oh, well, that's something
Just
I
got to
never.
get them. You just got to get them from a clean water source. Don't get them out of the ditch near the road or down by the factory. Get them out in the wild where they're clean.
Well, we got plenty of them out on our ponds.
That would be a likely clean source, unless they use, those pesticides all the time, runoff from the fields.
Nope. Those are all. It's a spring-fed. It's an actual underground river, but there's pockets in holes in the river to where they'll boil up, which creates our ponds. But yeah, we got plenty of them.
Spotted rabbits, the willow tree. You can take the twigs and the leaves from a willow tree, it's your standard willow, and boil them down, and you can get pure aspirin from that. It works real good on toothache. I mean, it's as effective as any store-bought, if not more, as any store-bought aspirin you can get.
Well, that's like milkweed. It's the same damn thing. Now you can't use it internally, but milkweed, the milk, when you break it, and it grows naturally, and you always pulling it or you're ripping it out of your yard. That stuff is as powerful as morphine, if not more. And you can use it on your body for sores and pains, and it is a very powerful substance. It grows
Red
out here.
Redwood. By the late 80s, I had discovered 130 edible and medicinal plants in my area alone.
Yep. Dandelion, milkweed,
Chicory, sheep
chicory.
sorrel.
Yep.
It's just endless, you know. You can add your blackberries and strawberries and all that to it too, but there's a lot of plants that people don't know. Mullein, you know, there's a lot out there. You guys are all in different areas. You're going to have different plants. There's ones I read about. I've always wanted to try pine nuts. They supposedly grow in all the western deserts, pretty common.
Yes, spotted rabbit. You can use everything right down to the roots on a dandelion. You can use the flower head. You can use the leaves. You can use
And
the
you
root.
know, I've heard people mention the uses of dandelion like a dozen times in 2 weeks. People in the chats are on this.
David in. That's funny. Don't tell Bonnie that, David.
Yeah, goldenrod, wild carrots, wild asparagus.
Most of the plants I grow anymore, I know what parts I can eat, what parts I can't. I try to leave like onions, I try to leave the bulbs in the ground and they come back. And I just eat the tops. Now, potatoes, you can't eat the tops of, they're toxic, but you only pull so many potatoes. And when I got 4 or 5 buckets, 20-pound buckets or 20-gallon buckets, I can have a lot of potatoes. They'll last me most all year. And then I had cherry tomatoes, and I had so many of them damn things. I had to just let them seed back out right in their own bucket, and I just keep that stuff going. It just comes back up every year, and I have a non. I mean, I don't have to garden every year that way, and
I don't think we have that here, believing.
Do what?
We've got something here called a skunk cabbage that grows in the swamps, believing, and it is one of the stinky. It does smell just like a skunk. It smells like a rotting corpse, and it's this very strange, like hooded flower that grows only in certain areas of the swampland. But I don't think we have swamp cabbage.
Huh.
Stop.
Oh, the Paul Pelosi's, yeah.
Arkman's cool. I watch Arkman too. I got some of them old books too, Devil Dog. There's some good information in the old ones.
Oh,
Did a
I
little
like it.
short.
Sorry.
Did a little short video of my portable library. There's a lot of books now on edible and medicinal plants. I guess the best advice I could give anybody who's getting into edible plants, especially mushrooms, all right, if you're going to get into that, is don't get one book and just go by that. Because I've seen so many discrepancies on what one book will say and another one says. There'll be completely two different stories about the same mushroom or plant. Get multiple opinions before you go delving into something you don't know very well.
I've seen it. I've seen people get poisoned. My brother got food poisoning. He had some growing naturally. He pulled them up. And he fried them up with butter. And he said, "Man, they smell good." And he ate them. And one time he was fine. Second time he ate them, made him sick as a dog for 2 days. So
Some mushrooms are look so much alike. One will be sought after as a food source. The other one will be poisonous. The only way you can tell the difference between the two would be to shake it over a piece of white paper to see what color the spores are. I mean, there's some of them that are that close. It could kill you, or it could be wonderfully tasty. But there's a risk involved if you don't know what you're doing.
well, and they also say look at the underneath side when you pull them. Look at the underneath side and see what their striates look like. You know what?
Usually, any veiled mushroom is bad news. All right. A
Yes.
veiled mushroom is one that has this little skirt halfway up the stalk. All right.
Yes.
Before the open cap of the mushroom, something like a destroying angel or, a panther cap. These are mushrooms that grow around the United States that can kill you if you touched it and wiped your mouth with it, and didn't. They're that powerful a mushroom that can hurt you. And the thing about mushroom books, I've been through libraries of them, and I've literally seen them say one mushroom is, you know, slightly caustic to some people. It might upset their stomach. And the next one will say, oh, it's a poison that can kill you. The next one will say, well, some people like them better than the others. And so it's like, who do you believe in that situation? You got to test things in moderation. Like here in Michigan, morel mushrooms are a big deal. But there's this one that's called the helva, and it's called a false cap morale. A morale mushroom closes all the way to the stalk. A false morale is open underneath of it. They look the same otherwise. Now they're considered poisonous, except I know people that prefer the open caps over the regular morels. They actually hunt the hell of a species over the normal morale. So it's also about what your system can handle. Am I taking over this panel? I don't mean to. You
No,
guys are just letting me talk.
You're great.
We're just
You're
letting.
great. We're all learning.
Yeah, and I don't know what the hell happened to our host. She's kind of MIA.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
What happens if you're listening to your radio and you go out and pick some of them fresh pasture mushrooms after a sun or after a little dew, and you sit down and look at the sky?
There are at least a dozen hallucinogenic mushrooms growing at any time all over America, right?
Oh
They're
yeah.
not always just on cow pies. They grow. There's one called a lawnmower mushroom. It's a very common mushroom. When you go out and you cut your grass and it's wet out, you'll see these little thin brown, chocolate brown, very small clusters of mushrooms. Those are about half the potency of the mushrooms that you would have bought in a bag in the 70s, all right? But they still have the same properties and the stain. If you eat enough of those, it's going to have the same effect on you. So imagine being a kid and destroying those mushrooms when you find them in your yard and never know that you're absorbing that in your skin, because that has happened. It does happen. There are mushrooms out there like that.
Yeah, I've heard of people with acid bleeding through in their pocket when it gets wet and they get messed up on acid they never took.
But I could believe that happening too. They used to, back in the 70s, man, they'd put acid in their eyes. You ever heard of that?
They go blind in the eye for a little while too.
My little brother.
Uh,
My little brother used to do meth before he passed away, and he would smoke and get really screwed up, and a couple days later, he'd take his clothes off, and then if he didn't have his clothes washed, he'd put his pants back on. He'd get messed up. When he started sweating, his skin would absorb that stuff right back out of his britches again. right back out of his own breeches. So that's tough as boat. Yeah, there's those little mushrooms you're talking about. They they uh, they have them around here, and people are starting to sell them, and they're calling it microdosing. Yeah, microdosing because you're just getting a little. You don't eat a bunch of them. You just eat one or two, and I don't know about it. I mean, I don't know. I've never done it, and I probably never will. But yeah, they call it microdosing, and they're just eating shrooms is what they're doing, and it makes them, the younger crowd, it makes them high, makes them hallucinogenic a little bit. So yeah, it's wild what you can find out there in nature.
Well, everybody knows about the ones that grow on the cow poo, but let me tell you, there's some that are voodoo too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember the ones you're talking about in the yard, the little brown ones. I remember the guys I ran with that would eat any of them. They called them chocolate drops, or they said when they drop them, we're going to go get some chocolate real quick, and they'd be out in the yard hunting them.
Yep, I remember them well as a kid.
Did you ever hear them called chocolate drops?
No, not that, but I've heard them described as chocolate brown in multiple books. Maybe that's where it came from.
And another thing, people back in the 70s, there's a term you probably ain't heard in 100 years, reds.
There's a mushroom that grows on the side of the tree,
Yeah.
In Europe, it was known as poor man's bread. When you get it, when it's soft and pliable, it's pretty good, but they harden up. And then, you see little scrimshaws and stuff people do in the hard version. That's a mushroom that if you do find it growing on the side of the tree, there's a lot of food there. You can feed a family or two with a good find of that.
Yeah, it's usually on the north side of trees around here, when and if you find it. And it's only on certain trees. You won't find it on cottonwood, and it's very seldom you find it on elm. But yes, you are correct.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it, rabbit truffle versus poison.
Yep. I don't see them growing anywhere around me.
You can eat the heck out of kelp. There's a few different types of kelp you can eat, spotted rabbit. I'm surprised there's not a whole lot of people making up some alcohol stills for fuel source. Another thing I remember seeing was back in the 70s, there was like Mother Earth magazine, Mother Earth News, or even Popular Science and stuff. They had all kinds of do-it-yourself alcohol still setups. There was a movement for it back then. What happened to that?
The movement got thrown in the bin.
Say it again.
The movement got thrown in the bin. Wasn't it illegal? I've been seeing some videos about making your own and where to buy them and stuff. Has that law changed?
About what? You're coming in really not that well.
Well, I don't know what's wrong. Maybe
Could
because
be My end. Is anybody else hearing her good?
I can hear.
Yeah,
Say it
she's
one more time for me, Bonnie, because I couldn't hear it.
Is it illegal to use a what do
Oh,
you
still?
just yeah.
I know that it is in some places, and I know it is for some purposes, but I'm pretty sure that it was a legal deal to make your own fuel.
It's all about intent, I think.
Because I've heard people they can make distilled water and everything out of them.
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
can
get
build water, you can do potpourri.
I'm just
I
gonna,
keep the ends up for the by that fight because you're mine. I walk the line.
well, that I could hear clear.
Hold on, that's me.
What's your ringtone?
I fell into that burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down. The flames got higher. And it
I hear
burned,
that's one of the
burned.
fastest ways to get hit for a copyright is to play Johnny Cash.
Mm.
Probably.
Rumor has it, in the YouTube community, all the rebels out there that are fighting the algorithms.
It was a ringtone. I couldn't help it.
One time, Monty and me did a show on his channel. He says, I don't care what happened to the channel. So for 8 hours straight, we played music, and he got 57 strikes that day.
Oh my gosh.
He didn't get strike. Those were lashings. He got the
We
hell
the
out of
first
him.
first hour and a half was nothing but every patriotic song we could think of. We really pushed the limits that day. Fun.
David N., if you ain't heard that last song that he did before he died, you need to listen to that. Listen to the words. Beautiful.
Ragged Old Flag. I've been listening to that one the most lately.
Mine's been the one I heard. That was the last song he ever did before he died. Bonnie knows. She hears it all the time.
The idea is not to annoy the girls; it's to get them to like you, Shane.
I try to drive them away so I don't have to fall in love and be with them,
No. That's
Oh, is
back
that
ass
not how that
words,
works?
man. That's back ass words. You got
Oh,
it all.
I know. She,
It's messing with you because everybody else does. All right.
I tell you, and I don't mind it. I love it actually. I give everybody shit, but yeah.
Oh man.
So shit, D-dog.
I
Phenomenal.
know. That's what I read. That's what I was like. Oh,
And
phenomenal.
I heard it once or twice, but I don't know why people love that song, but man, it was a beloved song. I was like, ain't for me. Maybe it was just so damn annoying that they decided they was going to like it. I don't know. I couldn't figure it out.
It's one of those that just gets stuck in your head, and it's a joke, Shane.
Oh, I know. I know. That's right.
Yeah.
Later, I'll stick some more songs in your head you can't get rid of, and you'll be cussing me again tomorrow. Kind of like Toby Keith, dream walking. Yeah, I mentioned it. Just so it gets stuck in your head again.
That's true Canadian patriot.
You get a song stuck in your head, you got to overwrite it with some song you like. Go and listen to a song you really enjoy and overwrite that shit.
Oh yeah, trust me, I do that, and then that song stuck in my head, and I get sick of singing it to my head, and so then I have to go get a different song, and I've always got songs stuck in my head. I just love music, though. I'm a big music fan. Most of it's country, yes, but I do have some rock, and I do have some heavy metal that's stuck in my head. I like a genre of music. Now, I don't like hip hop or rap. I do have a few songs that have some rap in it, but it's a blend, and I don't mind them. And at
It
that
doesn't
time,
echo Devil Dog. It's just on continuous play.
what does it echo? Yeah, it's like an echo chamber. Yeah, Love Shack, Love Shack, baby. Oh yeah.
Spotted Rabbit's just hinted at his age, talking about 1976 or 7. Grand Illusion album, Sticks.
Oh, Sticks. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
No, that was way later. That was the 80s.
Oh yeah, that was in the early '80s.
The Miss America. That was the best song Sticks did in the 70s.
Yeah, Sticks had been around a long damn time. Son.
Yeah, it's a trick, he said. The song Moony Moony. Are you talking about Tommy James and the Shondells, or what was the dude that did the White Wedding? Billy or
Billy Idol.
Billy Idol. Yeah, he did the song Moony Moony over again later.
Yep, he redid it. Money, 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 money. He did White Wedding. Nice day for a white wedding. Yeah.
Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels. CC Ryder.
CC Rider. That was a few days ago.
'60s oldies.
Now that one I don't know. Little Green Bag. Maybe that's what you picked up when you was a child or when you was a youngin' and in your teens and took it home and smoked it. I don't know. Oh wow, D-Dog. That's impressive.
Wow. That's a pretty big compliment from the dog. Purple people eater. D-dog.
Uh-oh, lost ammo.
Yep.
Phone went dead.
Yep. And battery down.
Yeah, exactly what I called it.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna close it down early tonight.
Okay, Bonnie. You can
I
close it
didn't.
down. You can close it down early tonight, but please get some goddamn sleep.
Oh, I'm going to and watch your mouth.
Oh shit! Sorry. I apologize.
Money
I
in the
mean,
tip
get
jar.
some sleep and stop talking to Shane till 4 o'clock in the freaking morning.
I know she's gonna have to leave me alone. Quit keeping me up all damn night.
Or you're keeping her up all night. That's the way I'm taking it, Shane.
Oh, I don't
Thank you,
make her stay
Brenda.
up. All she has to do is just hang the damn thing up, and there ain't a damn thing I can do.
Okay, y'all hear it. So when I hang up on him, you'll hear the whining.
Oh, you'll hear me whining and crying tomorrow, but that's tomorrow. We'll burn that bridge when we get there.
Yes, we all need rest right now because we got a lot of work to do.
Yep.
And we need to be on the at our best.
I hope not, G Dog. I hope not.
I don't plan on staying up that late. My eyes are getting tired. I always say that. Then Bonnie starts asking me questions and starts gigging me all night. So I have to.
Well, now I have my work cut out for me.
Okay.
Thank you, Canadian Patriot. I appreciate you being here.
She's such a nice lady.
She is. Beautiful soul.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. Get your homework done.
Do we have homework?
Contact your sheriffs.
I don't have one.
David.
We'll see you tomorrow. God bless you.
All
I
right.
love you. Night.
See you tomorrow. Love you.